Can't be going on and off, so I need to give him an ultimatum. To where? Albania. That he proposed to me. I want to get married.
Okay, red flags there, definitely. Like, he's acting a little bit immature, and it is, but are you sure you want to go?
So here's the thing. She wants to fly all the way to Albania with the hopes of basically convincing him that everything's going to be okay. And by giving him that reassurance, she's then hoping that he's going to propose to her. But then her friend says that the red flags are the fact that they're coming from Adnan, somebody who's obviously, you know, being a bit wish-washy. No, I mean, yes, that is a red flag, but that's not the biggest red flag. The biggest red flag is the fact that your friend is going to fly all the way to Albania just to convince a man to propose to her. That is the red flag. And to be fair, we don't even know if she's even been invited. It was last episode, she was asked him, should I come to Albania? He says, I don't know. Or I have to let you know. So now I'm starting to believe that she's going to fly there regardless of what he says. And then once she's there, she's going to do whatever it takes, potentially, to get him to propose to her. That, you know, that's not even a red flag. That is like a psycho flag, a concerning flag. That's like, whew. But let's get into it.
I feel like it's something I have to do. I want
a few kisses after we come back to apartment, to another one, and she enjoyed, and we're both happy.
So, you know, obviously in this clip here itself in particular, this scene, Adam obviously makes it clear, or at least references the fact that obviously she arrived, they both went out for drinks, and then things got out of hand, and they both ended up being satisfied in the bedroom. Well, let's see exactly what Shauna had to say.
I'm God for her.
Right. Intimate, but we had a photo. We had a bit of footing. A proposal is on the horizon.
So, of course, for her, she's like, well, we didn't get intimate, but we definitely done many things around that area, which is kind of funny because she said, obviously, due to her now being a Mormon, she's not supposed to be physical with her partner in any shape or form, not until after marriage. So the fact that she even kissed him when she arrives, I remember when she arrives at the airport, she gave him a little kiss. She goes, well, I'm sure that'll be okay. Then obviously it then escalates later on to her now doing other things with him, but just not going the full distance. Okay. But the second that she does that, what does she do? She then goes, now a proposal must be on the horizon. No, it's not. It's funny because even when she was taking the cab all the way to the airport from the UK, the airport in the UK to where she was going, she even told the cab driver that, yeah, I'm going to see my fiance, even though he hadn't actually proposed to her just yet. The woman is completely cuckoo, delulu, crazy, unhinged, unstable. It is freaking weird. But at the end of the day, it's clear to me that she obviously decided to get a little bit physical with him purely because she's thinking, if I can just show him a little bit of what he used to have with me, then he will want to propose to me so we can get married, so therefore he can then get the full package. Honestly, this woman is wackadoodoo, and the fact that she's now sexualizing herself just to get a man to propose to her is insane. Absolutely insane. And let's not forget, she's got a freaking daughter as well. What kind of role model is she being for her child? Well. Let me know your thoughts, and yeah, we'll get into it in the comments. But with that being said, let's move on to the next couple.
I read that I move out to the Philippines to be with her. I've looked into it though, and I can't get the healthcare that I need out there. So
I don't understand why he didn't look into that way before even thinking about even going to the Philippines in general, to be honest with you.
Ask her if she's willing to move to the UK with me on this trip. I need to talk to you about.
About what?
I've been researching and I can't get the medical care that I need. Singapore or somewhere like that.
Something tells me that maybe he knew this. So obviously he understands that if he moves to the Philippines, the closest place he can get for medical care is Singapore, which is obviously going to be a plane right away, I would assume. I don't know, something's a bit iffy about this one, because honestly, if somebody who has been the way he has been since the day he was born, you would know for sure that wherever he goes, he always checks every single medical facility area around him, you know, just to make sure that, you know, if he's ever in a position where he needs it, it's going to be there. Something tells me that he knew this whole time, and his whole plan was to get, what's her name again? I forgot her name, you know. Oh my god. Arrah, that's it. Yeah. And then Arrah, that's it. Yeah. So something tells me that his whole plan was always to get Arrah to the UK to basically be his nurse, to be honest with you. And maybe having him in the Philippines just isn't gonna happen. Who knows? But let's continue.
So I need to ask you if you're willing to move to the UK. Arrah's going to be coming to live with me in the UK.
What? So your promise is made to be broken?
No.
I didn't mean for it to be broken.
Excuse me. I think I'm gonna...
Personally, I'm with the mum here. Obviously, the mum says, so basically, you make promises that you break. He says, I didn't mean to. Nah. I'm telling you now, there is no way in hell you will live a life, that you would live the life that he lives and never ever check there's going to be healthcare around you. Listen, each time he travels to go somewhere abroad, even if it's just for a day, 2 days, 3 days, I'm pretty sure he has to make sure that there's going to be some sort of healthcare around there that he can at least rely on. Because of course, if he's in another country now and there isn't one around, he knows he's going to be absolutely effed. Especially given the fact that he has traveled alone several times in his life as well. So that would be number one priority on his list to make sure that will be sorted out. So for me personally, you know, his whole plan was always to get her to come to the UK. Nothing else but that. And I think, to be honest with you, even when it comes to this whole thing of him marrying her in the Philippines, so therefore they can never get a divorce, again, I still feel like that was also part of his plan too. I don't know, man. I'm getting itchy vibe about this storyline now. I feel like there's an agenda here that you know, Andy's trying to do here, and I think his agenda is basically trying to recruit a woman from the Philippines to basically be his carer for the rest of his life. That's just the vibes that I'm getting. And if anything, if he brings her to the UK as well, one, he'll still be close to his own family, even though his family doesn't want to come to his wedding. Close to his own friends, obviously still have the same financial benefits of obviously being on the benefits in the UK. Obviously, the Philippines aren't gonna provide him obviously money for being, well, let me not say they're not gonna provide him money for being in a wheelchair or anything else that he's got going on. But obviously here in the UK, I know that they're gonna provide you very, very well. And also his accommodation that he probably has in the UK is more likely going to be government paid for as well. So there's a lot of benefits that he has here that he won't be getting in the Philippines. And he's not willing to let that go 100%. I don't see that being a thing at all. So for me personally, I'm starting to think that this was his plan the whole time. I could be wrong, but I'm getting Brian vibes. If you know what I mean, remember Brian in the wheelchair? Me and him going to Brazil all the time to try to find women to basically end up being his bloody nurse. But, you know, and also be sexual pleasure. I'm picking up on that with this guy now. I'm thinking he's always smiling. He's always extra nice, extra happy. I'm like, people that are too nice, you know, hey, you gotta be careful of those people. There's always a little hidden agenda. So for me personally, well, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts anyway. But let's get into the next one.
Reading the Quran, enjoying my coffee. But Ali said it'll be 2 minutes. Always on the phone. He's literally like Houdini. He's there 1 minute, gone the next.
You know, Ali, man, this guy makes me laugh, man. This guy fully gave it the Quran, yeah. Because he knew it was going to take a long time to read. And then what did he do? What did he do in that process?
This one enough and never see him where he's going. Where has he gone? Are you for real?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He promised that he would not go gaming on this entire trip. And day one, the Quran.
Bro, come on. Do you know what the maddest thing is, right? It's really annoying me about Sam. She knows the man that she married. She knows that this man is going to pick whatever he wants to do over her at any means necessary. She knows this, but for some reason she acts as if she doesn't know this. She always puts on a blind eye to this to his behavior. It is absolutely ludicrous. Like, end of the day, like you did it to yourself. You chose this for yourself. Honestly, like, this woman blows my mind. What else do you expect from him?
Your religion, and then you're here. I'm annoyed at the fact that he thinks he can just go off gaming whenever he thinks that I'm absolutely fuming.
Yo, I fully thought she was gonna die. I thought she was joking with that impression. The way she impersonated was crazy. But I mean, don't get me wrong, Ali is obviously wrong for giving her Quran for the purpose of being able to ditch her so he can go play his games. Absolutely wrong for his behavior, without a shadow of a doubt. But she knew who she was marrying. The guy has been the same since before she married him and continues to be the same after she married him. It's just that simple. But I get it. She's frustrated because she's out here doing the most.
That he sat in here and he thinks it's a joke. This is just the worst thing that could ever happen. He made the promise and he broke it. You need to make an effort.
I'm doing something really nice for you and for us, trying to learn the culture.
This is the point I was going to say a second ago. Obviously, she's out here obviously doing the most, you know, doing what she can to learn the culture, to learn the language on her own accord. He didn't even ask her to learn the language. She's out here doing a whole lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't do for their international partner. So I get it. She is putting a lot of effort and she's like, where is my respect? Where is my appreciation? But here's the thing though. You're doing all these things on your own accord, not because he's asked you. Now, I'm not saying that you should ask her, but what I'm trying to say is sometimes in life, if you do things on your own accord by your own choice without somebody else asking you or requesting you or whatever, then when you do those things for certain people, it doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily appreciate it. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And that's just the way life works sometimes. And this is why sometimes people don't work out in relationships, because one person will go above and beyond to make things work in a certain way, and the other person may not do so. So therefore, the person that's gone above and beyond will then start to feel underappreciated because they're expecting a reciprocation of the same energy. And this is the problem. You should never expect anything from anybody in this world. Point blank period. Expectations, oh boy, they can be the death of you. But hey ho, it is what it is. She chose this path and she needs to now decide whether or not she wants to still be with this man, despite the fact that he's never going to respect or listen to her in any shape or form, to be honest with you.
Concerned about gaming all the time. You'll never change. More so in Malaya.
I am always busy with you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
The matter of fact is, if she's ever looking for accountability from Ali, she can keep dreaming, because that accountability is never, ever going to happen. It's just that simple, sadly for herself, but she needs to just recognize it. But nonetheless, though, let's move on to the next one.
When you go dancing, how many men can you dance with? La la, I'm not listening.
I guess if I'm there like 4 hours and there's a song on every 5 minutes, that...
Crazy work. If I'm there for 5 hours of song every 4 minutes. Somebody said, there was one of the friends said, so that's 75 men in a day touching you. Oh boy, she was not helping her case. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, this is all due to Marco's insecurities. But to be fair, even if you're not an insecure man, would you want your woman working a job where there are going to be men touching her on a daily basis? Oh yeah, about that. Yeah, I don't believe. I know that would not be cool with myself. You know what I mean? Nothing to do with insecurities. The fact is, this is my woman. You're here for me to protect you from other men, even doing things or touching you or whatever. I mean, end of the day, it's a profession. Like, well, you know what? That's what makes it worse. It's not even a profession. She goes dancing by choice. I'm pretty sure she pays for it. Does she not? Wait. Does she pay to do dancing? Or... Wait. Shit. I forgot if it's her profession or not. Damn. Either way, it's a sticky one. Look at it this way. If he was doing a job that was, or hobby. No, it is a hobby, because I remember she had a conversation with a friend, and a friend said, this is a hobby for you. So she does a hobby that involves people touching her, that are men predominantly. That's crazy work. Because if the roles were reversed and the man was doing a hobby that involved women touching him all day long, 5 hours a day, every 4 minutes per song or whatever, ooh boy, that'll be a sticky one. But of course, this is dancing together, right? So obviously, if the touching means obviously we're just the dancing touching, I guess it may not be that deep. But different men putting their fingerprints on your woman every 4 minutes for 5 hours? They're able to touch her waist. Yeah, nah, that's moving mad. Honestly, if the roles were reversed, I don't think any woman would be happy with their men doing that. Ah, no way, well, la. All I want to know is this, okay? Would she be happy with him doing the same thing? That is the main question. That is the main question, because boy, it may not be in a sexual way, but boy, that's a sticky one. I don't know.
Many men she could dance with. It was really terrifying.
You're not allowed to touch the face.
Yeah, but it's not the face.
We're not concerned with the...
And that was the problem. She said not the face. The face is the least of the... Well, it is still a problem. All of it is a problem. So that means they can touch you in other areas. Obviously, they do ask also so they can touch you on the bum. She goes, no. But how do we not know this now? All you said was just the face. Yeah, that does not help her case. You got the bum, you got the boobs, you got so much other areas. And you tell a man that his mind is running wild in different places, and you tell a woman the same thing. Her mind is run away to different places. Ain't no man touching, ain't no woman touching my mom's butt. Are you crazy? Yo, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. Yeah. I can understand Marco's obviously concerns in this area.
What about other body parts to quit dancing? I'm still not happy about it.
This
Never could be.
conversation is a little worrying. If I were to move to Rome, would I be able to dance?
Yeah, I don't trust Italian men. If we would live in Italy and you would go to dance, important now to focus.
It makes a fair point, because obviously he knows that in Italy, obviously per se, you know, if you go to do dancing and whatnot, and you're letting men touch you, obviously in the dancing format, they're gonna get aroused, you know what I mean, and they're gonna try and make advances. And to be fair, it's the same thing in the UK. You know, older as men, eventually, you know, someone's gonna get an arousal, and they're gonna want to try and make advances. Now, of course, you're gonna reject them, which you can be trusted by, but it's just more the fact is you're gonna be putting yourself in that position. That's not necessarily, you know, a good thing that you put yourself in that position. Do you see what I'm saying? On a daily basis, you're mad. And to make it worse, you're paying to be there to do these things because it's a part of your hobby. Yeah, you're crazy.
I think more on us than on potentially children.
I think it's more important to focus on what will be better to raise children. Dad get a lot older.
Our whole family is so close, and it would just be really, really be with them.
Oh yes, this is a conversation about trying to get him to move to the UK.
And it kind of leaves me feeling a little bit sad.
To the UK soon. Promise me that you'll give it a proper shot when you come.
Yeah, I'll probably go when I next visit, but I know that Italy is better.
It's making me...
I ain't gonna lie to you, he's not lying, man. Listen, I've been Italy many times. Probably going there again at some point this year. And yeah, I'd pick Italy over the UK anytime. Oh, it's so beautiful there, man. It is so beautiful there. So I don't blame him for not wanting to move to the UK and wanting to stay in Italy, you know. But at the same time, I don't blame her to wanting to stay in the UK, because under the day, you know, there's certain things here that just keeps you want you to always want to be here. So I understand them both having that perspective, but I know it might be. I know. For me personally, I'd be picking Italy, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But obviously, I do believe it is only right and it's only fair for him to come to the UK and to actually give it a nice try, not to just come here with their intention of not giving it enough try because he's stubborn to Italy. Now, also on top of that, whether they were to live in the UK or live in Italy, the bigger benefit that they have is that literally it's just a plane right away. And when I say that, like literally to fly to Italy, depending on where you're flying to, we're talking what, between 3 to 4 hour, 3 to 4 hour flight journey. You know what I mean? And depending on where in Italy and depending on when you're traveling, you're talking about flights that range from like £30 to like £100, give or take. Do you know what I mean? Depending on when you're booking. Obviously, if you're booking August, like a time like this when the school holidays, of course, it's going to be like 100, between 100 to 200. Do you know what I mean? But more of the story is it's not a flight that's crazy expensive to do. Do you see what I'm saying? And you can do it pretty much multiple times a year. And given the fact that they'll be getting married anyway, that means eventually she would, depending on how it works, she would eventually pick up an Italian visa anyway. An Italian visa. Therefore, that'll give her a passport in general. So therefore, she wouldn't have to worry about the Brexit situation, because right now we can only travel to the to Italy. Well, if you are a UK citizen, you can only travel to anywhere in Europe up to 90 days per year. But obviously, if you play it right, I calculate once upon a time, if you travel once a week, if you travel once a month for a week throughout the year, that will cover the 90 days. You know, yeah. That's making sense, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's vice versa. If you're traveling from Italy to the UK, I'm not too sure how that works. But if you're from the UK traveling to inner parts of Europe because of Brexit, you can only travel. You only have 90 days to travel within that area. So, and it renews every 9 months. Yes, it renews every 9 months. My memory's a bit foggy right now, but I'm pretty sure it renews every 9 months. But if you was to travel, let's say within that 9 months, if you just travel for a week, if I went to Spain today for a week, came back to the UK, and then next month I went to Italy for a week, came back to the UK, then the following month I went to Portugal for a week, then came back to, do you see what I'm saying? So a week per each month. I'm pretty sure when I calculate it equates to literally 9 months, and then by the time you get to the 9 month mark, it renews, and then you can basically keep going. Do you know what I mean? So it can be manipulated basically. Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah. But on the other hand, if you was to go to the USA, for example, if I've got a visa to go to the USA, a visitor visa that lasts, I can only go to the USA for 90 days, as we know. But if I was to go to the USA and I was to stay there for the 90 days, all I've got to do is leave. We'll go to Canada for a couple of weeks, and then come back, and then I can go back into the US again for another 3 months. Yeah, you got to learn how these things work. You know what I mean? There's little ways. You know what I mean? Or if I don't want to go to Canada, I can just go back to somewhere else. You know what I mean? And then come back. But that's the other little hack there. It's just I need a visa for both USA and Canada. Yeah, it's crazy how it all works, man. It's crazy work. But I think I'd have to fly into Canada, not drive into Canada, to reset it. But I've never done that one, so I'm not too sure how that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just telling you guys a bunch of gems right now, a bunch of hacks. It's the same. I think if you want to live in Thailand as well, if you are not a Thailand citizen, you can stay. You stay there because you go there for 3 months, and then all you have to do is literally cross the border, and then recross the border on the same day, I believe. Or you cross the border for like a day or two, then you refoot back again, and then you can just basically continue being in Thailand again. So many hacks of how you can just manipulate the system pretty much in a nutshell. That's why realistically, if I was in a 90-day situation like this, and I was dating someone from the United States, I wouldn't be rushing about marrying you just to stay there. As I know, it's just a frustration around that I've got to leave to come back, you know what I mean? But listen, there are ways around everything, guys. You just got to figure it out. Anyway, enough knowledge, enough gems. You're about to get me arrested for knowing too much. But with that being said, though, thank you so much for your time. Let me know your thoughts and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course we will be doing a live stream later on today. Okay, so be there or be square. Peace.